What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. We are back, people. A few days off. I had to take a break over the weekend, man. I had a bad cold, and you know, you don't want to tune in here, man, coughing and sneezing into the microphone. Even now, not 100%, but nearly there. Just a little man flu and them things, honey and lemon and that, and we're back, people. But anyway, not a lot's happening. We're still waiting for Declan Rice. We're still waiting for Yuri and Timber. Arsenal's typical slow announcements, same old, you know, by the time they announce Declan Rice, we're going to be bored of it, not even excited by that deal being announced. So it is what it is, people, you know, typical Arsenal, taking away the excitement, but, you know, I'm sure they'll be announced at some stage this week. Are you fit, bruv? You know what I mean? ESR settings, man. Big up ESR, who won the, what was it, the under-21 Euros? On what day was that game? Saturday. He didn't actually play that well, I can't lie, but you know, he done the business. Won more trophies than Harry Kane anyway. I might as well just announce Declan Rice myself at this rate. Someone needs to leak it. Someone just needs to leak the video, man. I'm sure he's done his announcement video by now. Yeah, man flu. Little man flu. You know, you feel sorry for yourself. Oh, I got man flu. It is what it is, but yeah. Jake said, Curtis, I'm getting bored with Rice and Timber. Listen, we're going to talk about it in more detail anyway. It's been years since we've seen you. Do you know what? It's funny, you know when you used to doing daily live streams, when you do maybe 3 or 4 days without doing a live stream, you think, yo, I haven't even spoke to the community for days, man. What's going on? I might have to set up some sort of group. Maybe on WhatsApp or something where we can, you know, everyone can communicate still. Rum and lemon settings, yeah, something like that. We'll get it sorted anyway, people. Aiden said the announcements better be sick. Was worried. Nah, we're good, man. We're good people. Don't worry. We're active. A little Ray and nephew will do the trick. George said YouTube's been boring the last few days. Don't worry, man. We're back in business. Busy week this week, and the tour. Obviously, the Arsenal tour starts now, actually. They're already... Discord, that's it. I was thinking about Discord. I don't know why I said WhatsApp. Maybe we'll set up a Discord group, you know. Arsenal are on tour at the moment. They're in Germany. See them training over there. They're on their pedal bikes and all of that business. I will be doing a watch-along on Thursday. Arsenal play against Nuremberg. 6 p.m. kickoff UK time. We'll be live about 5:15. On Thursday, so make sure you tune in for that. Watch along settings. I think Havertz will make his debut in that one, and then obviously the tour in America starts next week. I'll be heading over there, so hopefully see some of you guys over there, and looking forward to them games, man. Obviously Man United, Barcelona, and so on and so forth. Darren said, Curtis, like you, I sold out and bought the merch. Black training kit. I couldn't resist. It's a banger, man. It's a banger. Yeah, we drew to Watford behind closed doors. I think the second half was a youth team squad. First half was a half-decent team, but they didn't even show the highlights on the website. Maybe they didn't want us to see it. Johnny said, Big C, I've got a Discord server in my community. It works wonders. People just want to keep interacting. Yeah, I'll look to get something sorted with that. Joseph sent the lifeboat search party looking for you. Now, we're good, man. We're good. Little man flu. We keep fighting through that. Don't worry, people. We're back here today. New merch? Yeah, why not? Do it while we're doing well. Anyway, let's get into today's show. Let's break down the news. Now, first of all, let me start by talking about Saliba. Let's talk about Saliba because I didn't actually do a live stream after the announcement of him signing the new contract. So I had to do a pre-recorded video, and some of the details I actually put on there were wrong. The initial announcement was saying 150 grand a week, 4-year deal with a 1-year option. So I put out the video. About 2 hours later, Ornstein said it's a 4-year contract with no 1-year option on £192,000 a week. So I thought that was a little bit interesting how once again we're not able to get somebody to sign a 5-year contract. And listen, we don't need to panic about that. I'm just delighted that he signed a new deal at all, and we've got him here until the summer of 2027. It's just interesting that Saka, Saliba, it's almost as if they've said, look, we'll stay, give us a massive pay rise, we'll sign for 4 years, but in 2 years we're going to have that option to see what the situation is. It gives them a get out clause if things aren't going well. Nothing to panic about. Still great news that they've signed a new deal. Just interesting that it's a 4-year deal and they haven't signed up to the 1-year option at the end of the 4. But £192,000 a week. So great deal for him, and great news that it's been announced and it's official. Steve said Saliba is the best signing of the summer. Big C, 2 p.m. We're back, bro. We're back. Who's actually right for Britzel or Ornstein? I think Ornstein's the one to go with. Harry said Big C, they want trophies. I can't blame them. We ain't won anything since Aubameyang. That's a good point. 3 years since we won a trophy. I don't blame them. Arsenal are in a good position, but we have to figure out how to get over the finish line and win trophies. Players want to win trophies. Big up Cormac, who said, Curtis, I got the job after the Dyche pep talk. It worked wonders. I probably sound like Sean Dyche today anyway. I don't even need to put the accent on. But big up Cormac. Before the last live stream, he said he had a job interview and he's got the job. Big up yourself, bro. We did the little Sean Dyche pep talk. But yeah, congratulations to you, bro. Go in there and own it, let them know. Why would Walker join a team that has FA Cup parades? Listen, we'll talk about that. Hold fire on that one. Come on, people, let's get Big C to 64k today. Yeah, I think we're about... Let me have a look. What are we? We're about 84 subscribers away from 64k. So if you haven't subscribed, come on. Join the community, people. Get yourself in here. Big up Bleck in the chat. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you are well. And big up for all the new members that you helped join the community last week. Really appreciate that. So yeah, Saliba signs for 4 years. 192 grand a week. It'll make him the 4th highest paid player at the football club, so big him up. And subs only mode, yeah, we might have to do that. Got tickets for the Community Shield today. You're going to the game. I haven't bought a ticket for that yet. I may just do a live stream for that one. I don't know how much are them tickets as well. I haven't even seen that. Thanks guys for all the well wishes, says Cormac. Big him up. $15.99 for pre-season tour streams. Listen, we know with Arsenal, man, if they get any opportunity to take money, they will take it out your pockets. 15, that can't be per game, surely. That's got to be for every single one of them. But still overpriced, in my opinion. Tickets will be on the website, I'm sure. Big up Marco. Feel like typical Arsenal. Wouldn't be surprised if this is it for the window after Rice and Timber are announced. I do think that we will get more players in, Marco. I got to be honest. I think what we will do, we will announce Rice and Timber. We will sell 4 or 5 players or release them or loan them. And I think we'll go again towards the end of the window. Big up Patrick Linley, who said it's my birthday today. Curtis, thank you for all your efforts. Been watching on the regular for a few years now. Love your streams. Happy birthday, bro. Hope you have a great birthday. Thank you for your support. Big up my bro Akeem. I'll be at the Arsenal-Monaco game. Shout me, bro. That's the Emirates Cup, right? Midweek. I haven't bought a ticket for that yet, actually. I think they sold out. I might not even be able to get a ticket for that. But if I go, yeah, if you go, let me know, bro. We will start cleaning out the closet. Yeah, we need to. We definitely need to. Lee says, big up, Saliba is like a new signing. As I said, that's as big, if not bigger, than any new signing that joins the club. He's the best young centre-back in the world for me. Tickets are sold out. That's honestly the demand. A lot of people message me on, socials and say, can you get me tickets for games? I'm coming from abroad. I'm not the guy for tickets. I can't lie. If I ever have a spare ticket, I'll throw it out on the community. But I don't get one often because I share the season ticket with somebody else. A lot of the time I don't go, he goes. and it's not often neither one of us go, but the demand for tickets this year is going to go through the roof. If the Emirates Cup is sold out, then can you imagine what a Champions League game is going to be like, or a big Premier League game? Fans are excited. Fans want to see new signings. We haven't been in the Champions League for 6-7 years. It's going to be crazy this year to get a ticket. This new ballot system, I don't know how that works, to be honest. I think they've tried to do it to stop all of these bots who were getting loads of tickets last season. Anyway, let's move on, people. Let's move on. And let's talk about some potential transfers and ones that we're obviously waiting for. It wouldn't be a transfer show without talking about this guy, Declan Rice. And, I put out a tweet, and listen, I always say I don't want to sound like a spoiled football fan. But it's got to the point with this deal now where, for me, unless the announcement video is unbelievable, I'm not even hyped for the signing anymore. And I hope that doesn't make me sound like a spoiled football fan. People will be saying that we're spending 100 million and you're still not satisfied. You've got an agenda. But come on, man. Like, I've seen people get linked with a player, open talks with them, sign them, announce them in the time that we still haven't announced Declan Rice. Like, we've known for like 2 or 3 weeks that this deal was done. Apparently, he completed his medical at the weekend. People took pictures of him turning up at the training ground. And where's he at? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, they're in Germany now. Look how quick Havertz got tied up. Havertz, 65 million, bang. They even had to leak it. People were so bored of waiting for it. It is. It's like opening your Christmas presents on New Year's Day. Like, and you know, it's not even wrapped properly. You can see what it is. It's ISS Pro, you know, for the old school. If you're a bit newer, maybe we'll say FIFA 20 or something. But yeah, they're just overplaying it. And the interesting thing, Sky Sports are saying West Ham are ready to sign the contract for Declan Rice to become an Arsenal player. They are waiting for Arsenal's lawyers to approve the final wording of the deal. So basically, West Ham are actually saying to Arsenal, get the deal done quickly, because West Ham are saying, we need the money in our account so we can go and sign other players. I don't know if anybody saw, but West Ham apparently are frustrated because they wanted to sign Harvey Barnes from Leicester. Because we've delayed the Declan Rice deal, Newcastle have pipped them to get in Harvey Barnes from Leicester because they're waiting for the money from Arsenal for Declan Rice. I know paperwork takes a long time. I know that it's a £105 million deal and it's not straightforward and lawyers are going to want to read all that fine print. I get it. But it doesn't take day after day after day after day. Surely it's a quick process. Medical's been done. Personal terms have been done. Structure of payment is there. It's like, come on. I know, listen, some people will say, come on, you're being a bit spoiled here. You're getting a biggest signing that you've ever signed in your club's history. But somebody just said in the comments, they did a similar thing with Gabriel Jesus. I'm not going to lie, Cecil's AFTV announcement was better than the one that Arsenal did for Gabby Jesus. So, listen, these guys are going to sign, but you just kind of want them to be announced so that we can have a little celebration and move on to the next one kind of thing. They're really dragging this one out. According to reports, the aim is for Declan Rice to go on the America tour. He's not going to go to Germany. Doesn't look as if it's going to be done in time for him to go to Germany. They've obviously got a game in Germany on Thursday. The rumours were they wanted Timber to be done in time to play on Thursday, but they're going to have to announce him probably today for that one to be done. So it's an interesting one. Steve said West Ham messed about with the deal. It's payback time, possibly. Yeah, maybe. Not bothered about inconveniencing West Ham. Yeah, I'm not, to be honest. They were taking the mick. They were clearly trying to cause an auction to get the most money. So I'm not interested in them. I'm more interested in us. I would have liked to have seen Declan Rice out there in Germany with the team. Tim Lewis is dealing with it. Patience is needed, people saying. Most expensive signing, but not the biggest. I agree with that. I think Ozil, Sanchez, Aubameyang, they were all bigger signings than Rice, but he's the most expensive. Don't forget West Ham are still paying the wages. DV said, I get you, Big C, but he's signed already. So for me, it's not a big deal when he's announced. I hear you on that. I hear you. I think psychologically as fans, we see it. It's already our player. But you still want to see him on the training ground. You still want to see him, training with the team. Arsenal media team suck the joy out of everything. I'm not saying this to call out Arsenal, but I'm being genuinely honest. If you look at the Arsenal website and you look at the way they do things, look at Arsenal when they go on tour, for example. They will put out a vlog a day or two after that day's vlog. So whatever happens on Monday, you'll probably get a vlog for it on Wednesday. And nowadays people are impatient. We're living in sort of, I call it the junk food era. People want it now. Fast food. They want fast content. People don't want you to show a vlog on Wednesday of something what happened on Monday. If it happened on Monday afternoon, they want the video Monday night. I'm the same. I watch YouTube more than television. I don't watch TV. I hardly watch anything on TV. I watch YouTube a lot more because you're in control of what you watch and the content you watch. And I've said before, Arsenal have a lot of older guys working there and everything is quite slow and drawn out. That's why I think the announcement videos are not that exciting. That's why the content's quite slow. It's very similar. People want things now. This is just the society that we live in, TikTok and fast food. I'm not saying that's how I am, but I'm saying in general, that's how people are. Give me it now. We don't want to see videos 2 days later with vlogs. I think Arsenal really need to get hold of that because we've got such a big fan base. I think they can definitely, the guy who runs Arsenal Twitter is a Southampton fan. So it's just little things like that. I think that's why they got Frimpong involved to sort of connect with the younger audience a little bit, But it's definitely something that I think Arsenal need to sort out. Surely Timber gets announced today. Let's hope so. Declan Rice, they're saying he'll fly to America. I think they fly to America on Saturday. So let's hope Declan Rice is on that plane. He should be. He definitely should be. Addy said, appreciate you doing the stream even with Flo. Big up, bro. Happy to be back, to be honest. I was going to try and stream yesterday, but man, I was thinking I'm not going to get through this this stream without sneezing and coughing. So I thought it's not a good look. I'll wait until tomorrow. Big up LSU Gunnar, who said, sorry to join late. First day back to work after vacation. Hope you had a good vacay, bro. Timber Tuesdays, it's written in the stars, surely. Sashiv said, Timber is an inverted signing. Inverted right back, inverted announcement as well. Maybe they'll do it at 3 a.m. when we're all asleep, people. Big up, Sashiv. Hope you're well. And Samuel said, let's not pretend anymore, Curtis. Sing to us that defense is in trouble when Nketiah is in the room tune. Seeing is it your phone ringtone presently? Hey, no chance. I know Samuel's always coming for me in the comments, but listen, I think I did sing that once. That's how much I was hyped up, thinking that we were going to win the league. I think I sang that after he scored the winner against Man United last season. But no, you will never hear me sing that song again, I'm afraid. It's a good song, but I think my thoughts on Eddie. My favourite Eddie is probably Eddie Murphy. Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop 2 and things like that. It definitely had a bop. It had a bop, I can't lie, but yeah, just ran out of steam pretty fast. Anyway, people, let's move on. Timber! Is he ever going to sign for Arsenal? People are calling it Timber Tuesday. Everyone's bored of this as well. How many times can I shout out Timber and jollof rice and peas? It's all boring now. Even his brother got bored of it. So Sunday night in Amsterdam, Jurriën Timber has a leaving party in Amsterdam. On his brother's Instagram, he puts out this picture. Timber was pictured at the Ajax game, shaking hands with players and waving to the fans after the game. It all looked very nice. Jurriën's goodbye party, see you in the streets of London, with a picture of him in an Arsenal kit. So effectively, he's been announced as an Arsenal signing as well, without Arsenal announcing it. Everyone's just getting bored now. You know, the guy who worked in media just obviously leaked the Havertz announcement. His brother just throws out the picture of his leaving party in Amsterdam. And everyone's just getting bored of it now. The streets of London, where's he going to be, people? Hackney, Brixton, Tottenham, you know, Peckham, where's he going to be? I doubt he's going to be roaming the streets of London, but I understand the point that you're trying to make. Timber said, listen, man, I'm bored of this, man. Just announce me. Just announce me, man. Just put the picture up on Instagram. So it's funny, man. Arsenal, their media team, are they asleep? I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, they put that picture up. I'm pretty sure that Arsenal are probably not happy with people doing these sorts of things, but what do they expect? Like, I seen Liverpool get linked with McAllister, couple offers, done deal, announced him, bang, within about 4 days, it seemed like. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see if he is announced today. Hopefully, he is announced. But yeah, it's an interesting one. No, like, it takes the excitement out of it. Miss Rogue said, it's ridiculous at this point. No one cares. We can't see the woods for the trees. Arsenal fan says, give it time. How much time we got to give it? Yeah, will we see him in Wood Green, people? Maybe they want to do a duet announcement. You could do someone chopping down the trees and then they go to the kitchen. They fight their way through the trees and they get to the kitchen and they make their rice, you know. I don't know. They will drag both of them out as much as possible, to be honest. Liverpool Szoboszlai, yeah, like 2 days they were like, Liverpool linked with Szoboszlai. Liverpool agree a fee. Passes a medical, next minute he's holding up the shirt, but Arsenal like to drag it out. It is what it is. I suppose getting done is the most important thing, I suppose. I've just sort of given up on the announcement now, to be honest. You're a hypocrite. Just wait, you could have it all. Big up Kinson. No announcement until September. I like that one. It's a dad joke. You know, I would have probably gone with that myself. Probably sponsor content creation, possibly. I don't know. You never know, do you? But Timber, let's see if it's announced today. Everybody online is calling it Timber Tuesday, but we'll have to see with that one. Hopefully it gets announced quick. Yeah, Mason Mount. Look how quickly that one got done as well in the end. Let me just read these few super chats. Simon said they have to announce Timber because they said they want him in the squad for Thursday. You would think he has to be announced today and go to Germany. Jorge said we want microwave rice, not slow cooker rice. Come on, you Gunners. A big up Jashar said, big up Curtis. What hard evidence is there Balogun is better than Eddie? In my honest opinion, I think Eddie could have bagged the same amount of goals in France. I suppose for me, you've got to go off facts. And at the moment, Eddie hasn't bagged 20 goals in France, and Balogun has. And Balogun's a full international, and Eddie isn't. So, yeah, maybe Eddie could bag 20 in France, but he hasn't. And facts are stronger than opinions. So, unless Eddie does, when Eddie went on loan to Leeds in the Championship, they sent him back and said, we don't even want him for the full season. So, I'm going with Balogun, man, ahead of Eddie. I think he's a better player. But I hear what you're saying. A lot of people have said Balogun is overhyped, but we'll see. We said that transfer is silly season, and silly season is definitely well underway. Every day, Arsenal seem to be linked with another Manchester City player. It's really strange. Is this just the new thing now that, oh, every day we'll link Arsenal to a City player until they eventually buy one, just because we bought two last year? We signed Zinchenko. We signed Gabriel Jesus. Then we were linked with Gundogan. Then we were linked with Cancelo. Then it was Laporte. There was a story linking us with the Alvarez, the striker, but that one seems to have fizzled out. That was yesterday. Now today's one, Arsenal being linked with a £14 million move for Manchester City right-back Kyle Walker. I mean, I'm not going to talk about this for long, because I don't believe it, but I don't ignore it just in case it happens. Like I said, I remember we linked with Pepe, everyone saying no chance, and then we signed him. So you've got to report it. But Kyle Walker being linked with a move to Arsenal, 33 years of age, got a year left on his contract. Bayern Munich offered 15 million euros for him 2 weeks ago. He's been offered a new contract, it seems, verbally by Manchester City, but apparently he wants guarantees that he will be the first team right back for next season. Manchester City may be looking to get a younger right back to come in and challenge him with Cancelo on his way out. I don't see the point in this deal. Let's get one thing clear. Kyle Walker's one of the best right backs in the world. Let me just make that abundantly clear. It doesn't matter that he's 33. You know, I saw this guy handle Mbappe in the World Cup. He's one of the best on the planet, and he has been for a number of years. I actually don't think he's an elite defender, but his recovery pace is like nothing I've seen in a long time. You'd say he's one of the best right backs in Premier League history. I'd go as far as that. But 33 on big wages, with the way we're structuring it, if you're going to buy one of them, I'd rather buy Cancelo, to be honest. You know, Cancelo is 28. He's 5 years younger than Kyle Walker. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm paying 14 million and a big wage. I'm not sure. You know what? Let's get a poll up. Let's do a poll. Some of you may just look at it and say, listen, he's a top quality player and I'd take him. Would you sign Kyle Walker for £14 million? I just don't know how long you get out of him. Would you sign Kyle Walker for £14 million? We are going to turn into Manchester City's B team, aren't we? He's unbelievably quick. Honestly, the first time I watched this guy live, I said he's one of the fastest defenders I've probably ever seen in a live game. If he was getting him for free for a year with a 1 year option, I'd potentially say, okay. The second part about it as well, how many right backs? Are we going to have 10 right backs on the pitch? Timber apparently is going to play at right back. You've got Ben White. You've got Tomiyasu. Cedric's still back. You need to sell him. How many right backs do we want? So I don't really get it. I'm paying £14 million for him. 33 years of age. Ex-Spurs player. Ex-Spurs doesn't actually bother me, you know. I know a few people say, oh, he's ex-Spurs. I don't care, really. Because I'd take Harry Kane. Let's keep it 100. I'd take Harry Kane at Arsenal all day long. Sol Campbell's one of our best centre-backs in the last 2 decades, and he was their skipper. So I don't even care about that. If they're quality, I'll take them. But I just don't see the point in this signing, really. Listen, if he was a free transfer, I'd take him for a year, possibly 2 years. For 14 million, I'm not sure. I think you're just helping Man City clear their wage bill, really. Seems we are still in search of a right back. It's weird, isn't it? Like, we've got so many right backs. There seems to be this thought process that Arsenal want an attacking fullback as an option as well. Would that be an indication? Maybe we're going to sell someone. Would we sell Tomiyasu? Obviously, Cedric is somebody they're trying to get rid of. I'm not sure. Would you swap Cancelo and Tierney? I wouldn't personally, because I think we got enough at right back, and I like Tierney to challenge Zinchenko at left back. Although Cancelo can play at left back, but Tierney's a more natural defender. Cedric needs to go 100%. I'd take Pep. Yeah, we all would. Agents just use us to advertise their available players. We're like football Gumtree. I think so as well. Mahmood said, Curtis, would you sell Balogun or Nketiah? I'd sell Nketiah. Cedric and Tommy can both go, said Cody, mystified. We'll leave that poll up for a minute and we'll end that. Would you take Kyle Walker for £14 million this summer? Sell Holding and Cedric. I mean, I don't know if anybody saw, but today they put up an announcement. It's Mohamed El Neni's birthday. I don't know if he's 31 or 32. And everyone's like, happy birthday, Mo. And I was like, all right, cool, happy birthday. But in my head, I'm like, how has this guy survived another season at Arsenal? I just don't get it. Like, him and Rob Holding, Eddie and Nketiah, them brothers need to go, man. No disrespect. As fast as he is, I don't want no ex-Spuds at our team. But as Kane is really a lifelong Arsenal supporter, I would take Kane. I hear you. I said it in the stream the other day. If Kane sees out that contract, we should be offering him 400 grand a week next summer. Let's end the poll and move on from the story. I don't see it happening, to be honest, anyway. I don't really... nothing surprises me with Arsenal. You know, this is an Arsenal that signed Willian. This is an Arsenal that, you know, have just signed Kai Havertz for 65 million, which I still can't believe. But 61% of you say no, you wouldn't take Kyle Walker. 39% of you say you would. So a little bit closer than I expected. Listen, he's been a great right back. He's a quality right back. He's got unbelievable pace. Him and Saka would probably actually be very good, but I probably wouldn't go for him if I'm being honest. Sashiv said, what is your realistic expectation of Arsenal this season? I'm going to be totally honest. With the business that we've done so far, I don't think we've done enough to win the league. I'm going to keep it 100. We've spent 200 million by time Rice and Timber come in. And I think we've made some good signings, but I still think we haven't done enough to bridge the gap on Manchester City yet. Unless they have some bad luck as well. Haaland injured, maybe De Bruyne injured for a longer period of time. I would expect to see Arsenal getting challenge City, win a trophy, get to the latter stages of the Champions League. If we make another couple of big signings, then my expectation maybe goes a little bit higher. But I still think Man City win the league. Amir said, to win the title, we need players who are top class, starting 11 quality, but are content to be bench warmers. No replacements, only additions. I hear you on that. Alfred said, the last player I can remember with that recovery pace was early Bellerin when he first broke in the team. He was lightning. Big up yourself, Alfred. And Jashar, big up Curtis. The right back will invert into striker. Yeah, they'll probably put Kyle Walker up front with all this inverted business, you know. We could have got Vlahovic with that Havertz money. You're right. You are right. And he's being linked with Chelsea now as well. Let's talk about someone who's on his way out. Nico, Ross Clark, Pepe. He looks as if he is on his way out. Didn't fly out to Germany with the team. Isn't back at the Arsenal training ground. A lot of the loan players are back now and training. I think the likes of Cedric, Sambi Lokonga, they're on the training ground. They're training with the team. Pepe is not. His time is up now. A report coming out today. Nicolas Pepe is not part of Mikel Arteta's plans this season, and the club are willing to terminate his contract if they're unable to receive a fee for him. Did we fail Pepe, or was he never good enough? That is the question. Yeah, the stuff he knows is mashing me up, people. Apologies. We'll fight our way through it. We get there. It's only a bit of man flu, people. Honey and lemon settings. But two things I have to say about this. I don't believe that Pepe was never good enough. I don't buy into that second part of the question. I think there's a talent there. I always thought there was a talent there. Somebody put up an article the other day. He's got better numbers than Jadon Sancho. And Sancho was massively hyped and rated and was doing bits in the Champions League. So I do think there was a player there. But ultimately, there is a question mark of him and his style. And I agree with this. Chris is right. He's a transitional player or a possession team. He is a counter-attacking player. Hit you on the break. Get him in front of goal. The one thing that Pepe was always pretty good at is finishing. He was always quite calm at finishing in front of goal. Let's do another poll. Thoughts on Pepe's time at Arsenal? Pepe's time at Arsenal. Was he not good enough? Or not used properly by the club? By the club. Because the reality is, this guy costs £72 million. And you've got to wonder, how come we're not getting a penny back for him? You know, I feel like if Pepe played for Chelsea, they'd get 25 million for him if they were selling him now. So that's my sort of question. I'm not too devastated about the fact that Pepe's going. I don't think he suits the way Mikel Arteta wants to play. Anyone who used to watch my watch-alongs when Pepe was in the Arsenal team, I was always like, this guy is too laid back. He plays with no intensity. He doesn't drive at fullbacks enough. I remember when we played Tottenham. In fact, sorry, we were playing Newcastle. I think Danny Rose was on loan there. And Rose got booked in the first half and Pepe was playing against him and he didn't run at him the rest of the game. If you're a winger and your fullback's on a yellow card, you run at him because he doesn't want to dive in. And if he does, he might get sent off. I just think what Chris said is spot on. Pepe needs to play in a counter-attacking system. Even his dad questioned his attitude and said, he was too laid back. He was too happy that he was financially secure and maybe not hungry enough to become a top level winger. I just don't think he had that killer instinct. In my opinion, when it comes to why his time didn't work out. So it's disappointing because I think a lot of people like Pepe, but Trixie said, "Go on, Big C. Is Connor H changed his name? So changed name. No worries, bro. No worries." Big up Aiden, who said, "If an offer came in, what would you sell Tomiyasu for? I think if anything less than 35 million should be rejected. Even with injuries, he is solid." I mean, we paid 20 million for him. If you're selling him after 2 years and he's injury prone, I'm not sure you would get 35 million for Tomiyasu, especially the way that Arsenal sells players. Me personally, I'd probably give Tomiyasu one more year because I don't think anyone's going to be knocking the door down to pay you decent money for him because he's been very injury prone. And he can play right back. He can play centre back. He doesn't look like somebody that's going to put a lot of pressure on you to get in the first team. Tomiyasu, the first year was really good. Last year was a bad year for him in terms of injuries. Losing your place to a guy that's naturally a centre back is not a good look for a right back. But I would give Tomiyasu one more year as a squad player. I don't think Tomiyasu will get his first team place back at Arsenal. That's what I will say. I think Timber and Ben White will dominate that right back position. I think Tomiyasu is a squad player now at Arsenal. Unfortunately, he gets injured too much. Which is a shame because the first year he looked all right. So I would keep him. I would keep him for one more year as a squad player. And then after a year, if Timber lights up the place and you've got Ben White as cover, maybe you can afford to let him go then and cash in on him. Simon said, anyone who wants Pepe knows to wait because we don't want him and they can get him on a free. I think also the club are obviously leaking these stories, or journalists are being given information and leaking these stories. So if I'm in the French league and I like Pepe as a player and I was willing to pay 10 million for him, and I read this, I don't need to pay no money for him. They can't wait to get rid of him. So why am I going to offer 10 million for a player that I know you're giving away for nothing? So these stories don't help either. You've got to actually make people think that you're trying to sell them. So they want him off the wage bill, 130 grand a week. They just want him out. So it's a shame, though. It is a shame. Aku said Pepe lacks intensity, hence he is not good enough. The system doesn't suit him. You look at Jurgen Klopp teams, high-intensity players are the only ones that do well under Klopp, right? Because that's his style of football. You look at Thiago, who is an outstanding footballer, technically. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Spanish national team. World-class player, in my opinion. He hasn't thrived at Liverpool. He's got very injury-prone since he's come to Liverpool. Why? High-intensity, high-press Jurgen Klopp style of football hasn't worked out for him. Yet a player like Gini Wijnaldum, who doesn't have half the technical ability of Thiago, look like a world beater at Liverpool because he suits the style and the system and he plays high energy, high tempo football. Simple as that. Certain players have to play in certain styles, and it's as simple as that. Pepe does not suit the way Arsenal want to play. He needs to play for a counter-attacking team, get him in front of goal and finish. And Arsenal have to learn from that transfer. It was a poor transfer. They gave Rautinelli a lot of power. And it looked like a good deal because it was a big number that they could pay over a long period of time. So it didn't hurt their pocket that much at the start. But sometimes it's better to buy what you truly want. They wanted Zaha for the same price, but they had to pay the majority of it up front. They didn't do it. They got Pepe on an easier payment plan, and it didn't work. And I think Arsenal have to learn from that. Buy what you truly want, even if it costs you that little bit more money up front, but at least you're getting the player that you actually need, you know? So, yeah, that's a good point from our crew. Alex said he has been on loan and hasn't done anything. We can't blame Arteta for his failure. Also, he's played under different coaches, hasn't excelled. His attitude and commitment surely is the problem. You're right, in the French league last year, I think he got 7 goals. It's not exactly setting the world on fire. So he's out of form. It's just not happening for him. You know, maybe he's been linked with Saudi. Maybe he should cash in and go over there as well. Big up Alfred, who said, don't ban me, LOL, but I don't think Zaha... I think Zaha is built for counter-attack as well. Zaha reminds me of Alexis. If you aren't force-feeding him the ball, he's useless. Listen, I'm not going to ban you, of course, but I hear what you're saying as well with Wilf. Watched him numerous times for Palace. Palace are very much counter-attacking. So the evidence would suggest that, yeah, Zaha is probably built better for a counter-attacking system because when you commit bodies forward... and Palace hit you quickly on the counter-attack and you've got wingers and fullbacks pushed high, that's when he does his most damage. Same thing with Pepe. So maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, you know. I think Zaha's going to go to Saudi as well from what I've seen. So we'll move on from Pepe and we'll end the poll. 61% of you saying he wasn't used properly by the club. So people are defending Pepe a little bit. And 39% say he just wasn't good enough for us. Ras said Pepe is a street baller, but on the real field of play, it's like he gets overwhelmed by the game. I always think wingers are supposed to be killers. They're supposed to look at their fullback and say, I'm going to rip your defence apart today. That's what I want wingers to be like. I want my winger to say, listen, whoever's at right back, whoever's at left back, you're having a nightmare today. And I don't see that with Pepe. Pepe looks like, I'll just cut inside, I'll pass the ball. You know, he hasn't got that hunger, I'm afraid. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Apologies. As I said, I'm not 100% today. I had a cold over the weekend, so if my voice sounds a little off, no worries. Just a little man flu, but we're back in business, people. We'll be ready for the tour next week of the US. Can't wait for that one. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I think we're only about 80 away. I think it's about 60 now from 64k, so that'll be another little milestone to hit, people. So if you haven't already subscribed, hit that button. Let's move on. Couple more stories before we start to round up. One player that is definitely not joining Arsenal is Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. He's cashed out. He's cashed out. This Saudi situation is starting to get real. It's starting to get real. Signing Cristiano Ronaldo at the age of 38, signing Karim Benzema at the age of 35, signing N'Golo Kante, who's been injury prone for the last year. I can get my head around all of that. That's realistic. You're in the back end of your career. You've put in a lot of work. You've cashed out. These men are actually starting to sign players now in their prime. You know, Milinkovic-Savic being linked with a lot of clubs. 28 years of age, just managed to get into the Champions League with Lazio, being linked with the Premier League, being linked with La Liga. Man said, listen, I ain't interested in the Champions League. Money talks, people. Dirty cash, I want you. Dirty cash, I need you more. The man has cashed out. I saw the stats this morning. He earns £110,000 a week at Lazio. Very good money in football. 110 grand a week, great money. 440 grand a month, happy days. They've given him £475,000 a week. They said, what? 440 grand a month? We'll give you more than that every single week. The brother said, I don't care about Champions League. I don't care about Serie A. I don't care about Premier League. None of that. I'm off. I'm going. And I don't know if people have seen today, they've offered Pogba £850,000 a week to go to Saudi. So, Pogba's probably going to go there as well. These men are not playing games. This ain't like when the Chinese league, they went big for 1 year and then they couldn't handle it no more. These lot, these Saudi league, they've got serious bread. And let me tell you something, because some people in the comments are saying, sold is sold. One thing something with me, the way I look at football is, I think what you have to wonder, I still had to sing Dirty Cash, even, under the weather. I got to get 1 or 2 songs in there. I think what people have to understand is, not every footballer loves football. I've said this many times. I've got numerous friends who've played in the Prem, and obviously I played at lower levels and stuff like that. And you meet a lot of players and they're like, yo, bro, like a lot of these guys say, yeah, football, man, I play it because I'm good at it. That's what a lot of these, we love football. I love football. You guys love football. We tune in, we watch content. I know Premier League footballers who say, I don't even watch football. Apart from playing it, I don't watch it. So some of these guys are like, bro, you're offering me 4 times more than what I'm earning. I'll go and play in Saudi for 4 years, because that's you, that's your mum, your dad, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. Generational wealth, as people are saying in there. Tax-free. I think some of these countries, they pay about 5% tax when you reach a certain point. But compared to England, 40% tax over here, people. You earn £100,000 a week in England. You're paying 40 grand a week tax. Now, I know it's big money and, I get that. But 100 grand, you're losing 40 grand a week. I don't blame these guys for going and cashing out. Listen, I love football. I would consider myself a purist. I would want to play in the best possible league. But listen, go and get your bread, man. Trust me, while you can get it. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. So, yeah, he will not be coming. The Saudi investment fund has over 650 billion. It's serious. You're going to see people at their prime of their careers. I mean, apparently they're offering Bernardo Silva crazy money to go over there as well. Cass said, if I was a footballer, I was offered that sort of dough, I'd definitely take it. The thing is as well, if you're young, you can go there for 2 years and come back. Just go and cash out and get yourself back. Didn't want him anyway. No FFP in Saudi. They're not interested in FFP, mate. 40% tax. Crazy tax in England, bro. Crazy. Why do you think, as good as the Premier League is, if you look at the biggest players in the world, and I mean the top bracket, realistically, apart from Haaland and De Bruyne, maybe, you could maybe force Salah in there. The biggest players in the world, they don't play in England. Ronaldo was here, obviously, but he left. His peak was probably Real Madrid. Messi's never been here. Mbappe's not been here and probably go to Madrid. Neymar's never been here. Suarez was here, he left. Bale was here, he left. Thierry, okay, he spent his prime here. R9 never came here. Zidane never came here. Maradona, Pele, and I'm going further back. The biggest players, in reality, didn't come to this country. The majority of them. And the ones that were, they got brought by clubs in Spain. Because, number one, the weather's not great. Number two, you play football over Christmas and New Year, which people don't want to do that. Neymar wants to go home to Brazil for Christmas. He don't want to train on Christmas Day. And you pay 40% tax. Even in Spain, I think you pay about 15% tax. You pay 40% here. Now, Gunnar Menu saying, yeah, Rooney, Terry, Stam, Ferdinand. It's a little bit different. 3 of them guys are English, so they're always going to play here. Yap Stam was signed. Okay, I get that. Yap Stam. There are examples of big players, but I'm talking about the creme de la creme of football. You know, Ronaldinho never came here, although he was close to going to Manchester United. Zlatan never came here. Benzema never came here. Oh, and Zlatan did come here, actually, but the back end of his career. No R9, no Ronaldinho, no... The very biggest never touched this country because they don't want to pay 40% tax. They ain't interested. If you're earning... They're taking nearly half your wages every week. For what? To empty your dustbin and to cut the grass on the side of the street. It's crazy. So I don't blame these guys. I don't blame them. You go to Spain, 25 degrees all year round. They get a 3-week break at Christmas. They ain't playing at Christmas. They're not playing at New Year. They go home. They chill with their families. 3 weeks off. 15% tax. You get most of your wages. It's all good, people. England's cold in the winter. You got to wear gloves and you got to train on Christmas Day, people. I know it sounds crazy, you know, but this is how they're seeing it. And I don't blame some of them. I don't blame them. It's a shame. Premier League is the most exciting league because bottom of the league can beat a team at the top of the league. That doesn't really happen in Spain. Madrid beat them teams 6-7-0. That's where Ronaldo was scoring 4 goals. Messi was scoring 4 goals. So the Prem is excitement. It's always on edge because you can go to Burnley on a Tuesday night in December and drop points. You know, with Giles Barnes elbowing you in the nose and stuff. England is different. It's exciting. Anything can happen. And, you know, but a lot of these top players, they don't want to be here. Ronaldo was the last player in England to win the Ballon d'Or. That was in 2008. And about, I think, a year after that, he was gone. He was like, yeah, that'll do. Won the Ballon d'Or. I'm off. So you look at De Bruyne. De Bruyne doesn't even get nominated like in the top 3 or 5 for Ballon d'Or, really. William said, Curtis, is 45% tax if you earn more than 150,000 a year. There you go. It's crazy. Robinho was class. Yeah, he came for money, man. He didn't even know what team he was signing for. He thought he was signing for Man United. He signed for Man City. So let's get Milinkovic-Savic off the screen anyway. Simon said, wait until they loan him to Newcastle. It could happen. Young Gunner, good to see you back, Curtis. If the brother Højlund from Atalanta could be sold to United for 55 million, Balogun should be worth the same, if not more. I hear you on that. He's got more pedigree. Højlund scored 9 goals in Italy last year. You know, he hasn't done anything. Mr. Cool Bus Driver, yo, brother, come out of retirement and go Saudi as your new agent. I will take a 30% cut. Also, no Jamaica watch-along. I might do one. They got Mexico this week, semi-final. Could get America in the final. So, yeah, I might do one for that. Listen, I'll come out of retirement. If I have to start running again, I'll run. I'll go Saudi for a year. I don't even need big dough like that. Just give me a little, give me 8 grand a week. I'll work with that. Give me 8 bags a week. 1 season. I'll play for Steven Gerrard's team, you know. We'll make it work. But anyway, let's move on. Milinkovic-Savic is not joining the club. He's cashed out, but I don't blame him. Anyway, people saying, Sky Sports in particular, but a lot of other news articles running with this one as well, saying that Arsenal will look to make one more marquee transfer before the end of the transfer window. And Dharmesh Sheth was saying, although Dharmesh Sheth is not a great source of information, if I'm being totally honest. Big up Greg, who said he's going Mo Bay next week. Island vibes, enjoy yourself, man. Doctor's Cave Beach. But they're saying one more marquee signing before the end of the window, and they believe it's going to be a right winger, which does make sense, because if you look at it, last summer we tried to buy Rafinha, couldn't get him. In January we tried to sign Moussa Diaby, couldn't get him because they were asking for the same amount that we were going to pay for Mudryk, or what Chelsea paid for Mudryk. But according to reports, Arsenal are going to go back in for Moussa Diaby towards the end of the transfer window. Now, a couple of reasons why they're sort of putting this together. Number one, for me, Arsenal still need another winger to cover Saka. I know Reece Nelson signed a new contract, but he's not of that level yet, unless he steps his game up. We need better competition than that for Saka, in my opinion. Now, I believe they want 50 million now. They wanted 100 million in January. They're saying 50 million pounds will get him now, which is about 62 million euros. Second of all, we've just sold them Granit Xhaka. And we know that Mikel Arteta is good friends with Xabi Alonso, who is the Bayer Leverkusen manager. So there's a good relationship there. The two managers are good friends. They played together in the youth team when they was younger. And we've just done them, well, is it a good deal? 21 million for Xhaka? It's a good deal for us. We'll see if it's a good deal for them. But obviously relations between the two clubs are pretty good. 50 million for Diaby. Is it somebody you would go for? Do you still think we need a right winger? Now, somebody said the other day there was a poll on Twitter saying if Arsenal could only sign 2 more players, what positions would you go for? And I said centre midfield and a striker. And a lot of people were commenting saying, no, we need the right winger. We need the right winger. And I said, I agree. I think we need all 3. I think we need a right winger, a striker, and a centre mid. But I think we could get away with not getting the right winger more than I think. I think we need a striker more than a right winger, is what I'm basically trying to say. Because you've got Saka, you've got Martinelli, you've got Trossard, you've got Smith Rowe, you've got Nelson. I know that they're not all natural right wingers, but you could get away with playing them out wide if you needed to. I just think if you lose Gabriel Jesus or he hits 8-9 games without scoring again, there's no way you can afford to turn to Eddie Nketiah if Balogun is not at the club next season. A striker is absolutely pivotal. You can't get away with it. You cannot get away with it. If you look over the years of the Premier League, look over all the years of Premier League history, apart from the 1 year where Manchester City won the league with no out-and-out striker, and they're a unique football club in the way that they play football. Every other team that has ever won the title has had a prolific striker in their team. Look back over all the years. All the years, someone's had Arsenal, Thierry, Anelka, Wrighty, always had a striker. Man United, Rooney, Ronaldo, Van Nistelrooy, whoever. Even Leicester had Vardy. Blackburn had Shearer. Chelsea had Diego Costa, Drogba. You have got to have a striker hitting the back of the net, in my opinion, to win the Premier League. Not 10 goals, not 11 goals. Now, I know Jesus was injured last season, so he may have got another 6-7 goals, which would have been satisfactory if he'd have got 17, 18 league goals. He needs to hit those numbers this year. My concern, Firmino, that's a good point. That is a good point. You've pulled me up there. But obviously the difference with Firmino was doing the work so that the 2 wingers, the wingers were getting strikers' numbers at Liverpool. So that was a bit different. Salah is a striker. He's a striker playing out wide effectively when you look at the consistency of the numbers. So it's a little bit different with Liverpool. But I hear you. You pulled me up there. But I just think we need another goal scorer. I'm devastated that Ivan Toney's banned because I think he would have been ideal. I think we'd have got him for a good price. He's a different option. He's strong. I've got to be honest. He's the only striker in the Premier League last season that I thought kind of dealt with Saliba a little bit, if I'm being totally honest. He won 10 out of 10 aerial duels against him in that game. He caused him problems. So he would have been ideal, but it doesn't look as if we're going for a striker. And that concerns me a little bit. Now, does that number 1 mean that Balogun's going to stay and be given an opportunity? I'm actually quite surprised that Balogun's gone on tour. He's gone to Germany with the squad. So while he's on tour, I'm just hoping that Balogun proves something to Mikel Arteta to say, listen, bro, I'm better than you think. This is not French League hype. I'm actually a baller and you actually need to keep me. That's what I'm hoping. But would you go for Moussa Diaby, 50 million at the end of the window? Young Gunner said, offer Juve 40 million plus Partey, then go to Inter and take Barella for 80, 120 million on a striker and a centre mid. That would be fantastic business. I would take them 2 options, even though I think Partey's a baller. Barella and Vlahovic would be 2 great options for us, Young Gunner. You're right. We need a right winger more than a striker, says Lena. Thuram would have been a great deal. I think he went for cheap. Tony banned for half the season would still bag more than Ed. He probably would, to be honest. Alan said, no, I'd rather sign a midfielder and right winger this summer, sign a top striker next season. Arteta won't let his stepchild go, said road to success. From the Championship, anyone good? I mean, at this moment and time, with the level that we're reaching for and aspiring to be at, I don't think there's a striker in the Championship that's going to come and lift our level to where we need to get to. You know, I know over the last few years, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins, those kind of guys have come from the Championship and done well, but I think we're going into the Champions League, man. The level's got to go up. So, yeah, unless there's somebody that I don't know about, but I don't think there's anyone in the Championship that's good enough for Arsenal at this moment in time. Balogun, at the moment, is out there training with Arsenal in Germany. As I said, we play on Thursday, and let's see if he plays. Hopefully he does. Doesn't look too happy on this picture, actually. But listen, just the fact that he travelled gave me some hope, because I was thinking, let's see if they take him on tour. It'd be interesting if he goes to America. I just hope that Balogun does well on Thursday, goes to America with the squad, and just proves himself. Score in these preseason games. Show him that, listen, I'm better than Eddie, and that listen, if I'm Balogun, I'm looking at Jesus thinking, I'm here to put pressure on you. Not only am I better than Eddie, but I believe I can get more than 11 goals in the Premier League. That's what Balogun's probably thinking. His agent is probably saying, listen, you can put pressure on him. So it's going to be interesting. Arsenal are in two situations. They've either got to sell him and cash in on the hype and try and get as close to 40, 50 million for him as you can, or you've got to keep him and play him. That is a great point. This is why I lean on the community. And I saw that on a poster the other day, so how did I forget that? Arsenal are obviously taking part in this skills challenge against the MLS All-Stars the night before the game, and he is down to play in that. So you're right. I would expect him to be on the tour of the US. That is a fantastic point. Jorge said, would you take Mitrovic? I would, but, you know, it wouldn't be top of my list. If you could get him for cheap, he's a very good target, man. He's not... I would take him. I would. I like Mitrovic. He bullied us last season at the Emirates. Scored as well, didn't he? It depends how much we paid for him. I wouldn't pay big money for him now. I think he's 28, 29. Keeg said Balogun is like crypto. Sell the hype. Can we offer 70 million plus Balogun for Osimhen? Yeah, you could try. Would Napoli take it? Ferguson from Brighton would be good. Young, good on the ball and a physical presence. He's good. I think Arteta likes him, but the club might cash in. It's crazy, isn't it? Because I was wondering, was it the other way round? Did the club like him? Because I'm just thinking, if you're Kroenke, American, this guy could be starting for America in the World Cup in America. You would want him at Arsenal. Matt Turner, the American goalkeeper, and Balogun, the American striker, at your club would make sense. But he's got to prove himself. What you've got to do sometimes is, when the club are not sure, you've got to prove yourself in a short period of time. He's got to go pre-season, bang goals in, play well, and force the club to make a decision. I'm too good for you to sell. That, you know, we've seen players do well on loan. You've got to do it in the environment. Arsenal need to see him do well in an Arsenal shirt. I really hope he has a good pre-season and bangs some goals in, because I know Jashar was on to me, but I think he is better than Eddie. He's back. He said, Flo, it's your turn to clean Eddie's boots. Listen, I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this. I said this before he went on loan to France. He is better than Eddie, in my opinion. He's better than him. Just go off the eye test. But he does have to prove it in an Arsenal shirt at the end of the day. I hope we won't sell him to Chelsea. Nah, there's no way he's going to Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are even in for him. I think it's a made-up rumour. I'll take Ivan Toney. Yeah, listen, I said it before. I'd still sign Ivan Toney right now. And people go, what? He's banned for 6 months. I'd sign him right now. Yeah, and bring him in January. Get him for a reduced price. I hope Josh steps in and convinces him to stay as a fellow American. Arsenal would be crazy unless somebody if Balogun says, listen, you can't promise me first team football, I want to leave, and you get a £50 million offer for him, you've got no choice, you've got to take it. But unless someone's offering massive money for him or a fantastic swap deal, I mean, there's links today to AC Milan. Could you take a player off them? I don't know who they've got. Leao's just signed a new contract. You're not getting him. I don't know. I would be exploring a swap deal if a big club came in for it. Like you said, if Inter Milan want him, I'm saying I want Barella. All right, we'll give you a little 20, 30 on top. But listen, a lot of it will be down to pre-season. If he struggles in pre-season, the club will probably look to sell him. Omar said, Big C straight out of Kingston, Jamaica, just like Saliba. Balogun prove himself on loan so he can come in and do it for Arsenal. And that's a good point. A lot of people were like, oh, does Arteta like Saliba? Are they going to use his loan to sell him? You know, there were rumours at the point. And he said, listen, pre-season, he had a fantastic pre-season. And then he was in. So I think it's in Balogun's hands what happens in his Arsenal career. Unfortunately for him, he needs to prove it in a short period of time, which is this pre-season, by scoring goals. Nuremberg on Thursday, and yep, Jeffrey, I'm doing a watch-along for that. It's a 6 p.m. kickoff UK time, so I'll be live from 5:15, and then obviously I'll be going on the US tour next week. So listen, Balogun, for me, it's in your hands. If you want an Arsenal career, get your head down, train well, do well in pre-season games, sign a new contract on good money, and prove yourself. Alfred said, if we get in a penalty kick situation, Arsenal will have to sub Turner at 90 minutes. His penalty kick record is ridiculous. He definitely got Ramsdale beat. He does. And honestly, sometimes you've got to take goalkeepers off. We've seen it before. Turner the other day, I think, saved 2 or 3 penalties for the US against Canada. If we went to a penalty shootout, I would genuinely substitute Ramsdale off the pitch. He hasn't saved 1 penalty for Arsenal. And Matt Turner's saving them left, right and centre. So I agree with you on that one. Listen, people, I'm out of here. Apologies for the croaky voice, as I said, man. I'm a bit under the weather, but nothing major. Little man flu. But I thought I had to touch base with the community today. I'll be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. again. Thursday, we'll be doing the watch-along. Friday, I think we'll do a member stream. And then the weekend, we'll get another stream in. And then Monday, coming to America settings, people. Like the Prince of Zamunda coming to America settings, people. We're on our way flying out. So can't wait for the US tour. Big up to everyone. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. We're only 37 subscribers away from 64k, so subscribe if you haven't already. There will be US vlogs, one for Washington, one for New York, and one for LA. Hopefully link up with a lot of the community over there in the US as well. Listen, people, thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the rest of your day. Let's hope Timber and Rice get announced shortly, people. Bless.